Hello there, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm Vungo presenting you today top stories as usual.
Party, state leaders pay homage to martyrs. President appreciates dedication by revolution contributors. And later on, Prime Minister Vnews urges faster vaccination amid COVID-19 resurgence risks.
Delegation of party, state and fatherland front leaders on July 26 offered license in tribute to fallen combatants at the Martyrs Monument and paid tribute to the late President Ho Chi Minh on the occasion of the 75th War Invalids and Martyrs Day, July 27th.
The leaders and former leaders expressed their profound gratitude to the martyrs who sacrificed their lives to the struggle for national liberation and reunification, and for national independence and freedom of the fatherland and well-being of the people. Over the past 55 years, movements to care for the families of martyrs and invalids and those who rendering service to the nations have received special attention from the party, state, and the entire society. On the same day, delegations from the Ministry of National Defense, the Ministry of Public Security, and the Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs, and Hanoi Capital also paid floral tribute to heroic martyrs at the monument and President Ho Chi Minh at his mausoleum.
President Nguyen Xuan Phuc hosted a reception for representatives of the Ex-Youth Volunteer Association in Hanoi on July 26.
Currently, there are 500,000 former youth volunteers in Vietnam, many of whom are still facing hardships. To help the needy, funds have been raised to build 4,000 houses and open 7,000 savings accounts. On behalf of party and state leaders, President Phuc offered the best wishes to former youth volunteers nationwide and called on them to continue making contributions to national development and defense. The state leaders asked the association to coordinate with relevant agencies to boost education of the youth on revolutionary traditions, restore issues related to former volunteers, and propose amendments to the legal documents and policies for them.
Prime Minister Vnews has ordered COVID-19 vaccination be sped up in the face of the pandemic resurgence in some countries. He made the request in an official dispatch sent to the People's Committees of Provinces and Cities nationwide, ministries, ministry level and government agencies on July 25th.
So far, more than 240 million vaccine doses have been administered in Vietnam, with large coverage of the first and second doses, which has greatly helped bring the pandemic under control nationwide. However, dispatch noted many localities and agencies have lowered their costs, while authorities in some places have worked drastically enough, making the vaccination progress lag behind schedule. Meanwhile, the pandemic remains complicated and unpredictable in the world, and the wasted infections have occurred in several countries. Vietnam has continued to report cases of Omicron's new subvariants BA4 and BA5 and is facing risks of new outbreaks. He demanded a vaccination campaign be launched to complete inoculation for children aged 5 to 11 in August, finish the administration of the third and fourth doses to people aged 18 and above as soon as possible, and accelerate the third shot for those aged 12 to 17.
Up to 85% of enterprises in the processing, manufacturing and construction sectors expected better and stable business situation in the third quarter of this year, while only 15% predicted that the situation may be tougher, according to a survey conducted by the General Statistics Office.
The survey also found that in the third quarter of this year, nearly 45% of the firms surveyed said they are a rise in new orders, while around 14% forecast a decrease. Meanwhile, in the third quarter, over 20% of enterprises expected a rise in the number of their employees, while more than 9% forecast a fall. Although business and production have recovered after the COVID-19 pandemic with a high demand for production and construction materials, domestic steel has surged due to China's decrease in production and export. Meanwhile, petroleum price rise has led to an increase in the prices of other construction materials, directly impacting the cost of projects. The office quarterly production and business prospect survey covers 6,500 enterprises in the processing and manufacturing industries and nearly 6,800 enterprises in the construction industry. In the second quarter, the survey received response from over 5,600 processing, manufacturing firms and over 6,300 construction companies.
Vietnam has surpassed the Republic of Korea to become the world's sixth largest fiber and yarn exporter after shipping abroad $2.37 billion worth of these items in the first 5 months of this year.
Textiles and garments, fiber, yarn and fabric brought home more than $18.7 billion in total exports during the period, up 20.8% year-on-year. The Vietnam Cotton and Spinning Association noted China accounted for nearly 60% of Vietnam's textile and garment exports. Meanwhile, the US and Europe, which are the world's biggest textile and garment importers, have reduced shipments from China, giving Vietnam a chance to expand its market share. The association cited the World Health Organization's prediction that new COVID-19 variants will continue appearing this year, expecting the country's fiber and yarn segment will continue to be the main recovery driver of the industry and be less affected by the pandemic compared to the apparel segment. The association added Vietnam's economic integration into the world, especially the participation in free trade agreements, also promises breakthrough developments for the fiber and yarn segment.
The Soc Sơn Waste-to-Energy plant, located at the Nam Sơn Waste Treatment Complex in Hanoi, was connected to the national grid on July 25th.
TNE Environmental Energy Johnstone Company, the project's investor, said from now until the end of September, the plant will operate an incinerator with a capacity of handling 800 tons of waste daily. It can produce 15 megawatts of electricity for the grid per hour. The Soc Sơn Waste-to-Energy project was approved by Hanoi's authorities in late 2017 with a total investment of $303 million. Once completed, it will be the largest in Vietnam with a capacity of handling 4,000 tons of dry solid waste per day.
An exhibition of artworks created during the resistance wars for national independence is on display at the Vietnam Fine Arts Museum to mark War Invalids and Martyrs Day, July 27th.
Entitled Forever with Time, the exhibition introduces 70 artworks, including paintings and sculptures taken from both the Vietnam Military History Museum and the Vietnam Fine Arts Museum. Created by 62 artists, including 17 soldier artists, these paintings genuinely portray soldiers during wartime.
We select work for display from those who served both as soldiers and artists in the resistance wars against the French and the US.
The artworks depict unforgettable memories of those days, as well as expressing the deepest gratitude to the heroic Vietnamese mothers, militias, medical doctors and nurses, and all the people who contributed their lives to our glorious victory.
This is an image of a mother, not of myself, but another Vietnamese mother who loves peace, art, and music. The sculpture conveys the message that, despite a Vietnamese woman loving roses, the enemy still forced them to hold a gun.
Diverse in styles, genres, and mediums, the art was displayed at the exhibition with the vivid imaginations of the public about the glorious national history that must always be remembered and cherished.
Vietnamese ranked third among the top languages used at home in Australia, other than English, according to the latest census by the Australian Bureau of Statistics.
The census showed that Mandarin continues to be the most common language other than English, with more than 685,200 people using Mandarin at home. This is followed by Arabic, Vietnamese, and Cantonese. The number of people speaking Vietnamese at home increased by 43,000 as compared to 2016. In 2016, with 277,400 users at home, Vietnamese was the fourth most common language in Australia, excluding English. There are currently 429 languages spoken in Australia, including 183 indigenous ones. The consensus also revealed that in August 2021, out of nearly 25.5 million people in Australia, more than 334,700 confirmed their Vietnamese origin.
The Hue Hiphop Festival 2022 was held in Hue on July 23rd and 24th and is expected to have contributed to its title as Vietnam's festival city, while simultaneously promoting its cultural and tourism potential to attract more visitors from both home and abroad.
According to the Thanh Hue Department of Tourism, this year's festival attracted 2 foreign judges from the Republic of Korea and 1 from Sweden, as well as a renowned DJ from Singapore. They saw a number of dance and hip-hop clubs from around the country come to compete in 4 categories. The winner of the hip-hop 1vs1 will go on to represent the country at the golden era of hip-hop championships, which is scheduled to take place in the Republic of Korea later this year. The festival was part of the Hiphop Festival 2022 and aimed to create a venue for Vietnamese artists to show off their talent and have local people learn more about hip-hop culture.
With the rapid pace of fashion trends, antique Vietnamese customs may well have been on the verge of oblivion. To preserve and spread their traditional beauty, however, a number of organizations and individuals in Ninh Bình province have held a series of photo tours to bring antique Vietnamese customs closer to the public.
Sites and attractions such as Hoa Lư Asian Capital, Bí Động Pagoda, Thiên Hà Cave, and the Temple Saint Nguyễn, and a space stimulating buffalo fighting were among the destinations of the photo tours, called Through the Heritage Domain, held by the Ba Ngan 3000 art exhibitor, who coordinated with the Dong Phong tailoring and sewing of traditional customs. At each destination, models were dressed in different costumes.
In the process of researching ancient costumes, the most difficult thing was learning about materials, because information is quite sparse. I will conduct more experiential sessions in the future, so that young people can try on these costumes.
Attire such as Tất, Ngũ Thân, Giao Lĩnh, and Nhật Bình appear in tourist areas and attractions in Ninh Bình with lively colors. Combined with an Asian's quiet space, they not only enhance the beauty, but also attract many people who love learning about traditional culture.
Photographers like me also want to introduce and to promote the image of the nation's traditional culture.
When I put on costume from the Lê dynasty, I feel very proud and can see their beauty. In addition to antique costume photo tours, exhibitions of the customs and demonstrations of fabric dyeing have also been held, helping to give the antique Vietnamese customs a presence in the modern world. Such events not only preserve and uphold the traditional beauty of traditional Vietnamese customs throughout the dynasties, but also introduce and promote the image of the land and people of Ninh Bình to domestic and foreign visitors.